so passionate and angry about, some of the casting choices, some of the outfit choices. But, it's like when I wrote the book, it wasn't about the age of the characters. It wasn't about what they were wearing. I don't even think I described any clothing in the book. You've seen a few outfits that Lily has worn, but she looks so phenomenal on screen. And some of the outfits that she's worn indoors that no one's gotten pictures of yet are phenomenal. So I love that there's discourse surrounding it.
Hi, besties. Welcome back. This story just keeps getting messier by the day. And I told you yesterday, this case is at a major tipping point. The judge is looking hard at the facts versus the law. If there are big disputes over what really happened, this could go to trial. But if it's just about whether certain actions meet the legal definition of, say, conspiracy or defamation, the judge could toss parts of it out before a jury even gets involved. From what I've seen covering cases like this, I think a lot of the claims here might not survive summary judgment. But even if it does go to trial, the evidence we're seeing already tells a story. And that story does not make Blake Lively look trustworthy. She lies. Flat out. She's admitted in texts she'll manipulate to get her way. And now, in sworn testimony, her story is falling apart because someone else is telling a completely different version, and that someone is Colleen Hoover. Let's talk about the premiere. Publicly, Blake's team claimed she refused to attend if Justin Baldoni was there, calling it a clear boundary because of how he treated women. She said she never encouraged anyone else to boycott. But here's where it gets wild. When you look at Blake's own texts from 2023, what does how he treated women actually mean? It wasn't about harassment or assault. No, in Blake's own words to her agent, she was furious because Justin promised to be a feminist collaborator but didn't give her the control she wanted. She expected to see dailies, to be made a producer, to have final say, just because, in her view, a feminist man should hand power to the women around him. When he didn't, she labeled him sexist. That's the real boundary, not protection from harm, but anger over not getting credit and creative control. Now flash forward to Colleen Hoover's deposition. They ask her, "Would you have taken a photo with Justin at the premiere?" She says, "Probably not that night." "No." "Why?" "I was upset with him for things I had heard." From who? From Blake Lively. And what did Blake tell her? Two main things. First, that Justin was telling people they met through faith, which Colleen says wasn't true and felt manipulative. But second, and this is a bombshell, Blake told Colleen that Justin was spreading a rumor that Colleen was having an affair with someone on set. Let me be clear, there is zero proof Justin ever said that. The only source of that rumor, according to everyone involved, was Blake herself. But Colleen heard it, got outraged, and without ever checking with Justin, she cut him off. And here's the thing, Blake knew this would set Colleen off. Because Blake wanted Colleen on her side in the bigger war, the war over who controlled the final cut of the movie. People in the industry have told me script changes happen daily. Directors reference what the author wants all the time. It's normal. But Blake framed it like Justin was weaponizing Colleen's name. Why? To turn Colleen against him. And it worked. So now Colleen's furious, thinking Justin's lying about her being the other woman. And around the same time, Blake starts pushing Sony. Justin shouldn't come to the premiere. Justin's agent texts Blake's team. She's been brilliantly choreographing this for a while. He says Blake's turning the author and other actors against Justin, and it's bad for the movie. Then we see Colleen's own email to Sony in July 2024. She says she feels like a scapegoat. She won't promise to go if Justin's there. And then she says this line that explains everything. "If I were Blake, I'm not sure I would be able to stomach seeing someone else accept credit and accolades for what was also a huge, massive effort on her part." There it is. This was never about safety. It was about credit. It was about who got the glory. Blake had even texted Colleen months earlier complaining that Justin wanted a film by credit on the poster. Colleen wrote back, "Honestly, it should just be you on the poster." Think about that. In just a few months, Blake love-bombed Colleen into being her ally and convinced her that Justin was the enemy trying to steal credit from both of them. But then, the tabloid leaks started. Stories came out about Blake rewriting the script, about tension on set, and everyone started pointing fingers. Blake's team now claims Colleen was the one leaking to the Daily Mail. They submitted texts showing Justin's publicist told someone, Don't tell Colleen I spoke to her. I swore on my life. Why would Justin's publicist be secretly talking to Colleen? Maybe because Colleen was playing both sides. Blake's publicist initially told Sony the leaker was producer Stephanie Jones. But under oath, she changed her story. Maybe it was Colleen all along. Suddenly Blake and Colleen's girl power alliance is cracking. Their stories and depositions don't match. Blake says she never told Colleen to unfollow Justin. Colleen says Blake asked her to. Blake says the premiere boycott was about boundaries. Colleen says it was about not wanting Justin to get credit. When two people who were on the same side tell different stories, someone isn't telling the truth. And here's the most legally damaging part, the bake-off. Sony's contract said Justin kept final cut if his test screening scores hit certain targets. His cut scored 94% with a target audience and a 76% definite recommend. Blake's cut scored 83% and a much lower recommend score. By the contract, Justin won. He should have kept control. But Blake used Colleen. She weaponized Colleen's influence at Sony by making her believe Justin was a liar spreading affair rumors. With Colleen now demanding Blake take over the edit, Sony gave in, even though by the numbers, they shouldn't have. That's the heart of the lawsuit. Blake is accused of manipulating Colleen with lies to steal creative control away from Justin in breach of his contract. And now Colleen seems to be realizing she was used. She and Blake aren't speaking. The sequel is in jeopardy. And they're both in court, pointing fingers while Justin's company presents a consistent paper trail of texts, emails, and contracts. So what was this all for? A power grab over a movie that's now tainted by drama. A friendship that was really just a temporary alliance. And a legal battle that's exposing who said what, when, and why. I don't think Colleen's innocent. She's a grown woman who chose to believe gossip without checking facts. But Blake, the pattern here is clear. She wanted control. When she didn't get it, she allegedly lied, manipulated, and turned people against each other until she got her way. And now the whole thing is blowing up in everyone's faces. What do you think? Was this a feminist stand or a takeover? Who do you believe? Drop your thoughts below. And if you want more deep dives into celebrity lawsuits, make sure you're subscribed and hit the bell so you don't miss a video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.